tastes like the real beer, right? Right. And the ones that have nailed it are the piss water ones.
What?
Like, this isn't like Heineken, isn't like, there's nothing that's like
You're
really
not
great.
going to go anywhere to make Heineken better.
Yeah, insane with Bud.
Wait,
right? Whereas like Athletic actually makes like a really nice beer.
So you say that the ones that are the high quality,
Not high quality. They just have nailed the taste.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
they taste
so you're just saying,
like the
wow,
normal.
this goat's urine tastes like
goat's urine.
like pig urine.
but you said the ones that have nailed it have
much.
taste like piss.
Yeah,
How
pretty
have they
much.
nailed it if they taste so bad?
Oh,
I
their
guess that's
baseline.
yeah,
You're
their
saying that
baseline
it's
is
like
just-
Heineken is not a good beer at baseline, but
Yeah, but they're non-alcoholic is,
but
is
they
the
taste
baseline.
the same.
Like
yeah.
Bud.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that it tastes the same. I guess that's a better way of putting it.
I
I'm
get what
still
you mean,
rebuilding my glycogen stores.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're building your bike glycogen stores with Heineken.
Yeah.
Heineken after this
It's like
weekend.
filling your car up with
Heineken.
really shitty regular fuel
Yeah.
from like a 7-Eleven
Yeah.
in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Before we begin, it's that time for good old-fashioned sponsor mentions. For all mentions, please, please, please check out packfiller.com to send you in the right direction. And yes, I'm not going to lie, it gives me a couple pennies to keep all these assholes in beer in clean glasses. Huel! Huel is for human fuel, plain and simple, you guys. From breakfast shakes and powder or on the go, delicious meals that can be made in minutes. Huel is what it takes to eat well when busy. I love the Black Addiction. This is going to be a good show. Oh. I love the Black Edition in chocolate for my morning grab and go, and you will too. Go to Huel.com/Packfiller today and get started fueling with Huel. Am I sweating? Am I the only one sweating already?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, you're by
I'm the only one sweating already?
You're by all of the...
The hot stuff.
Yeah.
Untapped maple, everybody. By far the best, quickest ride energy out there. Quick to digest, quick to get into your fuel tank using only pure Vermont maple syrup as its base. Flavors are multiple and the benefits are immediate. Untapped maple. And finally, Gooder sunglasses. Hey, what did Kenzie get?
Oh, some tortoise shell, like, I don't know which ones they are, but they look
Rounded?
like mine. Yeah, the rounded.
Are they cool?
They're cool.
Did she use the code?
Great question. I forgot to ask
And
that.
I would like to know if she did, because I would like to know if the code was still good. Quality, style, fun, fit, and function in the most affordable eyewear option out there. No, really, you won't believe the value that only Gooder offers. I know what you're thinking, like what, $150? Because, cycling is expensive. Try under 50. I kid you not. Gooder sunglasses are the bomb. Let's do this.
That does sound better.
What?
Your mic with that
My
thing.
mic?
Yeah.
I spoke to the theme guy today.
And
He's going to revamp
cool.
and update the theme, and he's going to give us segment bumpers, music throughout the whole show.
Fun.
Wow.
sweet.
So, like, Fit Tips will have its own little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ask Dr. David will have somebody in the background going, oh, fuck, yeah. There, I just had to use one of mine right out of the gates.
Kind of thinking maybe we could do our call-up songs we talked about. Last
yeah.
resort.
Yeah, that's royalty-free.
Yeah. You've been down that road, haven't you?
Just like sending links 20 minutes before the show. So you have a lot to learn. Well, if we had to sum up the last week, I would use the letter W, everybody. This is like a Sesame Street thing. First would be World's Wrapped. See what I did there? Mm-hmm. Second one would be, wow, our hotel was wonky. And third would be, we got whooped. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. This is a group ride with friends, but one of them's an asshole. This is the Packfiller, and I'm Pat Bulger. We are live in the Rim Break Bar at packfiller.com, as well as on our YouTube channel. Come play along. Speaking of play along, in our warm studio, it's getting warmer by the second. We're all going to be shirtless by the end of the show.
You don't want people to watch
Nobody
YouTube
would want
then.
to see that.
Turn off the camera.
That'd be
Yeah.
just like a bunch of cyclists sitting around shirtless. Just like, ah! Put it back on! Put it back on! Jesus, can your shoulders touch together in the front?
Is that melanoma?
Speaking of playing along, let's see who's here with our prologue question. Panel, please describe the following. What is your best dessert? your best dessert. It can be food and beverage if you wish, but you're, nice evening, everything's gone well. What do you want for dessert? Okay, we good? Everybody's good? Paul knows he's first, so I always give him a little bit of buffer time. He's going to say a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because that's what he eats 8 times a day.
Oh, just once now.
Just once, okay.
Just now. Just once.
Belgian chocolate.
Bing, bing, bing.
First of all, he's the guy with a big ass race on the horizon, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
All right. Doing fine.
Talk to me about desserts.
Well, Sam hit it. I like a simple, like a dark chocolate, semi-sweet. You're hitting around that 70%.
70. God,
yeah.
see, I know.
I can eat the 90. I love
and I'll
the
do
darker the
90
better.
too.
Yeah.
But
Well, I can do
70 is
100.
just like if you have a sweet tooth.
Show off.
That's about as I can't go below 60.
Yeah.
55. It's like that's too sweet.
Like white chocolate sucks ass.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Listen to the sugar freaks.
Anything to drink with that?
Actually, if I have a choice, and I don't at nighttime because my wife won't let me, it's whole milk.
Oh, why can't you have whole milk
shit
at
in
night?
bed.
It makes you phlegmy.
It makes you snore out your butt or what?
No, snore. I get all phlegmy and.
Yeah, he's a snorer.
Ah.
When we did Seattle,
Although here's something
we
strange.
did Seattle Bike Towns. I swear somebody was probably like calling the downstairs desk, going, "Something's happening. There's an earthquake."
Here's something strange. Since we moved into our new place,
Yeah.
my wife says I barely even snore.
Wow.
Don't know
Wow.
why.
Oh.
Don't know why.
I don't even have a made-up reason for that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I wish I could. We had a sycamore tree in front of our house, and if you've been around those
That
things, man,
that fucking tree.
yeah, it'll screw people.
Well,
even
it killed the
without
bug.
allergies.
I mean, it killed the
that
the
particular
golf,
one, yeah.
too.
Yeah. My GTI dead.
Stupid tree. Next off, notice I said Paul had a big ass race. So this one, he's the guy with a big ass, Mr. Sam Playballs.
Yeah. I take a horse's ass. Yeah, I will say.
What a sugar cube.
Oh, my go-to is the s'more sub. Yep.
Nice.
What the hell is a s'more sub?
Yeah, it's heaven. You take a whole graham cracker,
Okay.
Okay.
and then 2 jumbo marshmallows.
AKA
right?
4.
Yeah. Okay, 4 marshmallows, 4 normal with 2 jumbo. And then you put a whole Hershey's bar on there, and then you put another whole graham cracker, and you eat 4 of them.
Oh, so it's just a big ass.
What kind of chocolate?
Yeah, Hershey's. Simple.
Yeah, simple.
I do like that you
That's
included
not even.
a-
and
That's
you
not
eat 4
chocolate.
of them.
Yeah.
I like the whole and you eat 4
Oh,
of
and
them.
by the way, you eat 4 of them.
Yeah.
How do you roast your marshmallows?
Perfectly.
Are you one of those slow,
Yep.
lightly brown, or you
Yep.
torch
Because
it
it's got
and
to
throw
get
it?
cooked all the way into the middle, so it's gooey all the way through.
But I hate
like.
marshmallows, but I will if I'm going to eat one, I torch it.
Oh, I'll torch it. I'll eat any marshmallow. Don't get me
okay.
wrong, but for the perfect s'more sub, you need to slow cook it, right? Then,
He's asking me to agree with him.
right, you know what I'm talking about. And then you follow that up with a little bit of bourbon, and it'll just right to bed. Yeah.
S'mores and bourbon.
S'mores in bourbon. I'm telling you,
That's true.
it's so
Wow,
good.
the Waples agree. 2 out of 2 Waples agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's shocking.
Wow. Third, he's the guy who is an ass and thinking he could keep up with me beer for beer on the night before a road race, Mr. David Maples.
How many did you have?
I had less than you. A lot less than you. I was going to save this for later, but at one point, and I'm quoting him, so this isn't one of my F-bombs. At one point, you looked over at me at dinner and went, "Hey, fucker, how many beers you had?" And I went, "I don't know. I had 1.5 at the pub. This is another one." You're like, "I'm on 3, and Sam didn't finish his, so this is 3.5." I went, "Wow, tomorrow's gonna be really productive." But anyway, how are you, man? And what's your dessert? If you say a sub,
It's way more sophisticated, please.
okay, good.
This
He's a
swine
doctor.
Over here. Yeah. uncultured swine over here. Eating from the trough. My go-to, Okay, favorite dessert if the wife's making it peach bombs. Wrap a whole peach in pie crust and cover it in almond sauce. But the daily basis,
Pitted or unpitted?
pitted. You cook the whole thing with the pie dough. Like it's like
Shake! I think I chipped a tooth.
Why, honey? Why?
okay, you gotta be smart about it.
It's like eating a peach gobstopper.
But go to is affogato.
Ah, good choice. Good
Yeah,
choice.
because you can do that every night. You can't do peach bombs every night.
An avocado?
Affogato.
Affogato.
You uncultured
You-
swine
are you
as well.
kidding me?
It's a
You've
scoop
never
ice
had an
cream with
affogato.
a shot of espresso on it.
Yeah, we keep decaf
You've-
just for that.
You've
Decaf?
never had affogato.
I've had it. I
like at
just didn't
night.
know there was a name for it.
Yeah, that's an affogato.
I
Great
just had
post-ride.
coffee with ice cream.
Great post ride too. You pull the
Yeah,
shot
it is
onto
awesome.
the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
It would melt the ice cream.
A little bit.
It does, and then it makes that. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
because then you
It
got like
is.
this perfect little sweet coffee treat at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like my coffee. Never mind. I like my coffee like my soul, cold
And black.
and black. Yeah. Next, he's the guy, and not last but not least, he's the guy whose ass won't stay in a 3-star hotel, Mr. Jackson Bolt.
God, you bougie bitch.
Super true because well,
for you.
okay. See,
We're gonna get to the story, so don't ruin
no, I know.
it.
I'm not ruining it. I lived in a place for too many years.
Yeah.
Where I put up with too many things, so I got there. It is. We'll get to it later.
You're
I envy
20.
you.
You're in your 20s, and you're like, I will not stay in subpar.
Yeah, because I've experienced things that 50-year-olds have.
I envy that.
You don't want my Portland experience.
Wait till you're 60.
Oh, the
You haven't seen
things I've
nothing yet.
seen,
Yeah, seriously.
Dad. What's your go-to dessert, Jackson? Probably everything, right?
Well, I do love a good sweet. I have always been a candy guy
With
myself.
a proper docuseries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good docuseries. Thank
Yes,
you very
there we
much.
go.
Yeah, which I do. I do. That's why I like YouTube so much. So, if you really want me to get into it,
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I really like a lot of candies. It just depends on the time, like the time of year. Sometimes I'll like right now I'm into Skittles. Sometimes I'm into like sweet tart, these little like sweet balls. They're really good.
You ever
But
roasted a Starburst.
I've never roasted a Starburst.
Good.
What the hell?
It can't be real.
Real.
You okay? Let Jackson finish.
But lately, so I live across the street from a Dairy Queen. And
How are you still
yeah.
fast?
well, it's yeah. But there is not a specific thing that you can order on the menu. There is a thing called a dilly bar.
Yeah.
And those are excellent. Especially the cherry ones are super good, and it's really fun to also say, "Hey, can you like give me my dilly?" That's kind of funny. So,
Hey, give me a dilly.
yeah. Hey,
did
I'm
you say
I'm
dilly?
taking a big bite out of my dilly, like all that stuff. That's pretty funny. Like,
Want to bite on my dilly?
yeah.
You should
Taste my
try my
dilly.
They're all
dilly.
12 years old. Here.
Yeah.
But recently, I've been into the dillies, so. See, it's fun.
What happens when you get married?
Yeah.
All dilly up here.
Tiny jokes. Me, I'm the guy who has to squeeze his ass into white shorts for the beer 4 mile. I'm Pat Bulger, and the shorts are hanging on the door right there.
Nice.
Let's see if I can find a shot.
I think they're too big. I think they're huge.
That's even makes
better.
yeah.
That makes
And
it
same with
better.
the jersey's
would
going to
better.
be too.
The jersey
Yeah,
is
it's
huge too.
yeah.
So yeah. So that's for the beer 4 mile. We've all agreed that's where
What
that's
size
going
are
to be
they?
weird. They are XXL. Well, I'm not gonna.
Better to be safe than sorry.
I'm
You
not
don't
gonna-
want to
no.
order 2 of those.
No, I ordered them from a probably nefarious source. I ordered them from AliExpress. You know, so they were made in China. Judge, go ahead. And usually most of their stuff is small, very small. And so I'm like, well, normally I'm a large, extra large in between there, and you know, I better size up because nobody needs to see my religion.
Wow.
Yeah, especially
We will.
circumcision. It's a thing. My favorite dessert, and I must be low budget because it's the chocolate chip cookie sandwiches from Trader Joe's. 2 chocolate chip cookies and vanilla ice cream. It sounds so simple.
Trader
but
Joe's
so
has
good.
those?
the best. They are so good. And the chocolate chip cookies are still kind of, they're not.
Soft and
yeah,
gooey.
they're soft.
I mean,
yeah.
like the Toll House ones are pretty good.
This is with ice cream in the middle.
Yeah, Toll House makes them.
Well, this is my
they're
dessert.
bigger.
So kiss my ass.
And they're bigger.
I'm talking about mine. No, these are about this big
they're
around.
huge.
Oh God! All right,
Yeah,
I need to
they're
go to
big.
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, and they're delicious in that. And I will admit, with a little bit of bourbon, or because you guys said bourbon already, ouzo.
What's that?
What is ouzo?
Oh, you don't know what ouzo is?
You uncultured swine!
God,
You just asked.
You drinking out of a trough?
Yeah. Ouzo is a Greek anise flavored liquor.
Have you ever had
Sound
Sambuca?
really-
Sambuca, very similar to Sambuca.
Not as syrupy.
Yeah. Ouzo and if you put a little ice cube in it, it turns cloudy. It's delicious.
It's called the lion's milk at that point.
Yeah. Oh.
Actually, that's a Turkish version of that. When they add water to their version of ouzo.
Wait,
Yeah.
you have this upstairs?
Catch
I
up,
wanna drink this
assholes.
right now.
So much culture. It's
No, I don't have any upstairs. I gotta go.
Stick
They
around
don't
with
sell
us.
it
We'll
locally.
learn
You gotta go get it at Total Wine or something like that. It's delicious. It's like a sip of licorice. It's really good. Really good. Well, today in our lovely town of Spokane, it has hit over 100 degrees. In fact, outside right now it is 102 degrees, which pretty much means no riding, at least for me. Has anybody ridden since our excursion? You guys have all ridden? 3 of them? Jackson hasn't. When?
Yesterday morning.
this morning.
Today at 9:30.
You guys been going?
Did you not work?
No, RDO.
You son of a.
What's RDO?
A rotating day off every other week.
You guys?
Chill.
Really?
Yeah, I had to spin out the legs after that
yours was
whooping.
weird.
Oh man, now I have to go tomorrow because you guys have just
Come to the morning ride.
I
There
don't
was like
do the
15
morning.
Yeah,
people.
at
It was great.
5:30
Let
in the
me ask you
morning.
that. I was going to say, what is with the ability to train in the morning? Are you guys able to do it? What?
Yes.
Describe the morning ride, David. What time it leaves, the intensity, how far, yada yada yada.
5:30 a.m., 30 miles usually, hour and a half on the dot. People got to be at work. So you're almost always back at 7. And it varies from as hard like as a race to today was pretty relaxed. So, but usually it's pretty intense, which is hard that early in the morning. I can't even get a cup of coffee down by 5:30.
5:30. What
Dude,
time you rolling
way
out of
too
bed?
That's way too
5:15.
early. Yeah, that's way too early
That's-
for me.
I could
Too
not.
late.
Well,
I can't even make it to work by that time.
I can't either. Yeah. You and I work.
Oh, by 7.
Have
Yeah.
to be at 7:30.
yeah, you can't.
What time do you have to be at work?
I gotta be at 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
So do I. I can never make it.
I've done that morning ride since '96, but with my new job, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's now it's the B squad. It was the A squad,
Yeah.
I'm talking about
the one at Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B squad, A squad.
So there was the
what are you
original.
talking about?
The
Like,
original
now it's
one.
just the dipshit leftovers.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened? The original one.
You guys suck. You're the B squad.
Well, the original one.
Not again. It's just like high school.
The original one started like in the 80s by Dr. Bender, very great guy and stuff. And he and his buddy loved to ride bikes, and they're both doctors, and they thought, boy, we just don't have time by the time with family and stuff. So they started riding together and left at the same point that it does now, which is in the corner of 30th and Pittsburgh. And they did this one loop, which Hangman Loop, everybody would know, and you go up Hatch.
That's a Mormon church.
Yeah. Yep. So they did that, and
Not
then
judging.
it just started building more and more. And at one point, it was actually
Be
in
careful.
the Spokesman Review where we probably had up to 50 people turning out, and that was the only one. Well, as time goes on, anybody in there that started riding or having a family at 80, you can imagine what age they are now.
Yeah.
So another group split it off, and who used to ride with that group and wanted to go faster, so they started the one at the Rocket Market.
They start 15 minutes early so they can get a 30-mile ride in.
Yeah,
Because the Hangman Loop's like 20.
yeah, and 5:45 is start time.
I could no way start a ride 15 minutes after I got out of bed.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's not easy.
I've done it. I've literally rolled out of bed with putting kid on and then just straight out the door, and I'm waking up as
Wait,
I'm
you
riding
forgot.
up the hill.
You text inbound.
Yeah.
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 You're 5
Or I
minutes
just
late.
hope that they leave and then I'm
And then
late.
you just
and I get
stand
there
in
and
the-
I'm like, oh yeah, oh, missed it. Going back to bed.
Then you just stand in the hallway for about 10 minutes, like, a scene from The Exorcist or something like that. And you wait. and then you show up late.
That could be it too.
I can't even do Zwift workouts in the morning. I can't do it. I'll wake up in the morning any time of year, and my body will just say, hey, I'll lay out my clothes the night before. Best intentions in the world. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a better person starting tomorrow. Wake up. Nope. Roll over, back to sleep. Jackson, you and I have been talking about the fact that you get the winter doldrums now. It's starting to hit you. And
Oh yeah.
have you ever been a morning workout guy?
No. I remember in high school I had to do like these 5 a.m. practices.
Yeah, I remember those.
Worst day of my life. Then you have to. Then you go into the
Every
bath.
day.
Well, then you go into the locker room. Sorry, we're getting a little sidetracked here. And they have a piss shower. And if you go into the piss shower, you get pissed on. It's like, why would I want to do that?
What's a piss
That's-
shower?
What school did you go to?
Well, we're not going to say that out loud because there could be legal battles going on in this. But
Wait, was it?
yeah, it's soccer boys are dumb.
Yeah, cyclists are a lot better. Yeah.
Well, I didn't piss on anybody unless they had a jellyfish sting or
That's it.
were into that sort of thing.
Well, moving forward, no, it's too early in the morning, and then going through the rest of the day, you got to be tired, and the fact that I've got 5-year-olds screaming in my face, it's like I got to save that energy.
If I start that early, like by 3, I'm really dragging
Done.
in my day, right?
Yeah.
And so then it's like I'm just trying to make it to like a reasonable hour to go to bed, which like for me, if I can then make it to 8:30 to go to bed. So it's just it's switching up your schedule for sure. But
You've thrown your entire rhythm off to shift for. Paul's shaking his head.
I was always a morning person, and I have no problems. But I really prefer to get a workout before like 9 in the morning. That's the best. I had no problems waking up and doing it. There's times I have to say it's like, oh, I don't want to go do it. And anytime I chose that through the day, I'm like, damn it, I should have rode. But never did I ride thinking I should stay in bed. When I finished the ride, I never thought I should have stayed in bed. I always think I'm glad I rode.
I started a few when I was doing ICU and had to be there at 6:30. I did a few 4:30 rides that month just to get something in. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it after work.
You feel sharper when you get to work.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm awake and,
it's too early.
no.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I haven't
Teach
done
their
any
own.
of them this year because of
What
that.
are you
Like,
doing, you
in my
moron?
schedule now, like I've bragged about it. It's set up to where it's like yesterday I didn't start till 10 a.m. So I went out for an hour and a half starting at 7.
That's fine.
That's
7.
perfect.
7's the
Yes.
Yeah.
7 is totally achievable. I can be up at like 6:15, have a cup of coffee, hop on the bike.
Now I'm gonna have to work out.
But you
tomorrow.
know what? When I get up, part of the reason I do it is because I get up, I go downstairs before I leave, and I flip the espresso machine on because it takes 30 minutes to warm up. So I come back, and it's hot and ready for me.
Nice.
That's part of why I do it is because then I get to have an espresso in the morning first thing.
There we go. Our summer is starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel, you guys.
Summer's over.
The distance. It's in the distance. But before we get to that, does anybody have plans? Before we get to Paul, actually, because Paul's still got a big one on the calendar. Does anybody have plans on racing their bikes before fall?
Nope.
The crickets have spoken.
When does the night series start?
That's. I consider that fall. I goddamn cyclocross.
Cross is here.
Cyclocross is in the fall.
It's starting earlier and earlier.
If you're getting off your bike and you're running, you either are being chased by a car and you have a flat tire, or you're doing cyclocross.
Fair
And
enough.
it's in the fall.
It's in the fall. So you're going to do that?
I'll do the night series. Yeah.
Wednesday night series?
Yep.
I will not do
So
that.
the rest of us?
No.
Just crickets.
Well, I've mentioned a couple times that there's like a local, well, kind of local, Fondo.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun, but it's $150.
Can we just
races.
roll up and do it and
But
smoke everyone?
with that $150, you get a free ticket into their Oktoberfest.
You do.
So
Yeah.
you get
Can I drink $150 worth of beer?
Sausage, sauerkraut,
I could.
potato
Willing to
salad,
try.
Yeah.
and beer.
you
Ask-
get a
Ask
lot.
Pat. I could.
You could drink $150 worth of beer.
You can't just come, hey, fucker. You said that.
Yeah,
you actually slapped me in the shoulder when you said, by the way, I think, and this still doesn't count because I'm quoting, I still think the word fucker is the funniest word in the world.
It depends on where you
Hey,
accent the word.
fucker.
I mean, the syllable.
Yeah.
Fucker. It's
Yeah.
vicious, but fucker
Hey,
is funny.
fucker. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
fucker.
exactly.
But if it's fucker,
Yeah.
then
it
it's
was
harsh.
funny.
you know?
Yeah.
It was very funny.
We earned our E rating today.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We did. Yeah. This weekend is our regional time trial in hill climb, but the hill climb rumors are that it might not happen because of heat issues. But the TT is still technically scheduled to happen. I was in on a meeting last night, which was incredibly insightful.
Are you going to share?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh God, I hate Zoom meetings. I hate online
me too.
meetings. It's just everybody just wants to talk. And anyway, and there are rumors that the registrants are down, and registrations are down, and the hill climb might not happen because of heat issues. So I encourage everybody, if you're in a region, to go check it out.
I'll donate a registration.
There you go.
Just like
I
you
can
always
register.
do.
I can register if they want.
Yeah.
Just not show up.
Me going to a hill climb is like Ozzy Osbourne going to church, though. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't
You
make
just
any
burn.
sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I just I would just burn. So let's get to the more important, pressing news. Paul, when are you heading to Georgia?
Monday. That's why I'm not doing the time trial on Sunday.
Yeah. Any intel on the course, on the way? I know you know the course every inch. You know the weather conditions, stuff like that. So talk to me about what's going on in Augusta, Georgia, right now.
It's 90 degrees predicted temperature. Well, you can imagine it's going to be humid.
Yeah.
I think the coolest they predict on Friday in the morning is 71, high of 90 plus degrees. My ride takes off at 11:35. There's
good
4 laps,
God.
14.7 mile lap with about 1,000 foot of climbing, a little bit more than on that. They're rolling, so there are type of hills like around here. So attrition is going to be a huge factor, and
Yeah.
I've been training for that. I have yet to turn my AC in my cars. My wife can't live. I was trying to convince her not to turn the temperature of the AC in the house. She's like, "No, that's not going to happen." But yeah, even at
are
work.
crazy.
Well, I mean, I got to get I'm not even sweating right now.
I'm not
It
even-
is 78.8 degrees in the studio.
It's
right
not.
now.
No,
I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Hats
I'm
already
sweating.
hurt.
I got what my
You have 2 heaters at the bottom.
I
of your
got
feet,
I got what we call swoob.
Yeah.
Sweaty boobs.
boob sweat.
Oh wow.
I am. You guys see me. What are your hopes?
it'd be awesome to top 20. There's 50. Last time I checked, 54 starters.
Okay.
It's in Fort Gordon, so I just registered today to get clearance to go in to Fort George in order to race. So everybody does, and they will sample your phone calls and everything.
Oh, I thought it was like urine.
Yeah, NSA has actually a little tent set up, at the finish line. I'll show you what we can do
Come
here.
on over. Yeah.
So
What does that mean? They sample your phone calls?
they have the ability. You have to sign off that they can't, because we're going onto a military base.
So they can
That-
just
so
watch phone calls there?
If
Like,
they want
listen
to,
in?
if they can just
They can watch
randomly,
everything, man.
yeah,
Everything.
text or whatever,
David's
because
like,
it's all
"Shit."
about this thing called terrorists. Oh,
Terrors? Night
Terrorist.
Terrorists.
Sorry, you just slurred a little bit there.
Terrorists.
That's the
Says, and you haven't seen that black helicopter following you? He just did. I hope you were watching online because he just did a sight gag. Paul, how does your fitness level feel after the time off?
Not so good, and it was proven last. I think this weekend we all witnessed where I was at.
Well, we're gonna get to that here, but I don't think you should bust your own chops here. There,
But I could be better.
yeah.
could be
Weren't
in
you
way
like
better
the
shape.
oldest man in that category
Yeah.
by like
By
two?
Now,
far.
when we will
years
cross that
old.
bridge at a certain point, because there's some air that I think we all need to spell out
Release.
about that situation.
We all need to fart out some comments
Yeah.
here, surely.
Pretty much
Before we
farts.
get to that topic, a quick Worlds recap. Number one, who picked Lotte Kopecky? I did.
Everyone
This
but
guy.
me.
Yeah, everyone but Sam. Next off, who picked Tom Pidcock for the mountain bike? I don't think we did any official picks.
we didn't.
This guy.
The guy
Is it me or
is
Vanderpool? I don't
a
know.
lion. Vanderpool.
Well,
for
couldn't
some
he
reason-
make it a lap?
Vanderpool just can't figure out. It's like, this is how the course goes. This is how the course goes. And then he hears this. And he crashes because it's the.
Do you
flashback
find
of
it
the
interesting? He
kids.
crashed on the road race with two-wheel slide
Uh-huh.
out, and he did the exact same thing in the
He's just going too
in the mountain
fast.
bike.
He's just going.
Well, he
too
wasn't even
fast.
in the
Power.
lead there when he greased out in the mountain bike.
I didn't watch
He-
the mountain bike. I have to admit.
He banged himself
Jeez.
massively. He had face wounds
Oh,
and
shit.
knee and yeah. So if you want to watch it, just watch the first lap. And his race is
very
over.
good.
Right before the start finish, he was like the last corner of the start
Really?
finish. Yeah. So
Yes, please. Sorry, we're speaking behind the closing thoughts on the all at once Worlds format. I have seen some burnout issues by some people online saying that it was just too much all at once. I got tired. I started not watching races. They're watching every single event and things as it goes across.
Well, I was never gonna watch every single race, so I thought it was perfect. I think it probably did a good number for the city. I think that was probably brought a lot of eyes and attention to it. Not to say that Glasgow really needs that. I think that everybody knows what that place is. Yeah. But also, it was probably really fun to attend the event and be able to realize, oh, I can go see the men elite and the women elite. Oh, now I want to go see a BMX race, or I want to see the juniors time trial. Like, you can just do all that in probably a matter of 1 hour car drive. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of bike racing all at once.
We don't get tired of the Olympics format, even though it's every 4 years.
I do.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
Because you start off, I feel like I start off really strong in the Olympics.
I love the gymnastics, and then by the end of it, it's like
Fuck the gymnastics and figure skating can kiss my ass. Any sport where you put glitter on and you have an outfit, you're not a sport. It's
it
just
should
a
be
dance.
A sport
It's just a
should be
stupid
timed
dance.
or
I hate
not
those
judged. I don't like judging. There's
Yeah.
always
Diving,
scrutiny. Yeah.
diving. How you enter the water.
It's nice to watch, and you can see their talent. They're very talented. I agree with Pat. If it's not a timed event or with score,
yeah.
judgment is dumb
Yeah.
thing. It's a recreation, and it could be very beautiful. You might enjoy it.
the Romanian judges are really hard this year. They're not going to give you high scores unless you've been in the competition for at least 5-8 years. Come on. Stupid shit. Sorry, I'm venting.
Yeah, it's the heat.
It
I
is.
think,
It is.
it's getting to him.
So any other non
Burnout.
burnout? Sam, you had burnout. Paul?
To me, it's like,
Paul's like,
at
"This
first
is
I
every
thought,
day."
well, Stu texts me and he's like, "What the heck is this crap?" Like all these world cycling. I thought maybe I'd watch other things. I watched the men's road race, I missed the women's TT. I just caught highlights.
Yeah.
And then the men's TT, and then the women's road race right before our race that we had on Sunday.
Yeah.
That we will soon talk about.
We will. Yeah.
And those are the only things. I thought maybe on the mountain bike, I was thinking, what happened to Vanderpool? And
Yeah.
so I turned it on and kept fast forward, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I stopped, I came right to it.
Oh,
Right
really?
when it crashed. I was just boom.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Oh,
I guess
wow.
that's over. And Pidcock was like in 30th place on the first lap, and he came back.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope he doesn't
Peter
get.
race that?
He did.
There wasn't really much.
No.
Yeah.
He's done.
He's done.
Peter's gonna do gravel. I think he
Probably
should.
will.
Is he gonna?
I think he
thought
should.
I thought he was lining up to do mountain
He
bike
wants
at the
mountain bike.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
It can happen. He'll go. I mean, how many?
Slovakians.
How many
in there?
Slovakians
Yeah.
are there to compete?
I mean, there
against?
might. You never know.
I
but,
mean,
you know.
I think if he goes to like next year's kind of like gravel circuit in the U.S.,
hits it hard.
I bet you he'd probably rip that shit apart.
Dude, finish the Tour de France this year.
That's what I'm saying,
You know,
like-
he's not a slacker.
But you have
I
to
don't think
think
he'll do that well in the U.S. gravel.
I don't think he. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think he likes. You know, you can see his talent in bike handling. That's what he gets the joy out of.
Yeah.
I mean, how many videos when he first got in the World Tour, where his team cars stop
Riding over it.
and you ride and he bunny hops on the trunk and gets right on. I mean, that's the stuff he likes to do. So
Yeah.
mountain biking provides that.
Yeah.
Gravel is just grinding out, just like pretty close to road.
Yeah.
You know, where you're just grinding out these miles and just endurance. And I don't know. I could be wrong, but
He
I don't
ain't going to
think
beat
he really
Keegan
cares.
Swenson. He is not going to beat Keegan Swenson right
That guy is.
now. Leadville was
freaking
Leadville was this
26
weekend.
minutes, 20 something.
Yeah.
He won by the other
Leadville,
group.
yeah.
He decided he didn't
Beat
want
the
to ride
record.
with him anymore.
Beat the record. He paced himself out to beat the record. He had a teammate ride balls out for the first 26 miles, and then he just went solo.
Yeah, he just decided.
Do you like
he was
that
with
pacing?
the group.
What?
Do you think pacing's good? A good thing for the
It's a
sport?
teammate. It's a team
Yeah,
issue.
but
I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, same with running and stuff. Some people have a problem with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but if it's a mass start event and a teammate wants to go completely balls to the walls and blow themselves up,
Okay.
which is what I was
I'm
going to
for
do
it.
for you guys in Montana if I had a days. I'd have totally done it. I said I was going to do it,
So was
but
Paul.
I got stuck in the A group. I got stuck in the B group. They wouldn't let me out. But no, I don't have a problem with that. So let's get to that. Let's get to the topic of the night. A recap of the weekend, and I want the listener to not go, oh God, tune out. They're just going to be talking about inside stories all night. But this is we got plenty of fun stories, so stick with us. First of all, this was all Sam's idea. Can we all agree?
Yeah, it was a good idea.
This is Sam's fault.
Yeah, like
It
communism.
was.
Like
I think
communism.
I think the intel was lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Didn't
I
work
think
out.
that's really stung us, is we didn't get much information on what
What
we were
kind of
walking
information
into.
would have helped, Paul?
Well, a start list, like I always look at.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have said, "Hey boys,
Did anyone know where
Buckle
to find
down.
a start list? Because
I
didn't
never
even
found one.
I
No, I
never
didn't.
found
No.
one.
never found."
Maybe.
And I mean, the distance for everything, and I'm thinking, and plus the thing that was misleading to me is that we didn't go category USA cycling.
Yeah.
Cycling. We went A group, B group. I'm thinking, this is a casual stage race, like we would find in Spokane, Washington. And so I poo-pooed you, Pat, but you made the
You
smartest
made the best
decision.
Yeah.
These guys had no option, I would think. But you could have been prepared, and our minds would have been set for a different strategy altogether, I think.
The greatest part was just simply sitting at breakfast.
Screw you guys! I was the smart one.
Yep.
Woo!
And we were all making fun of you. And after the first time trial, David and I rolled up and heard the time that had been set with an average of 29 miles an hour, right? And David and I looked at each other and was Pat right?
So
Yeah.
for people who don't know what's going on, we all attended a stage race in Montana this weekend. I know what a lot of you from out of the region are thinking. Montana, wait, what?
What's in
Don't they
Montana?
just have buffalo
it's
there?
just tumbling tumbleweeds, But no, everybody. Never mind. I had a funny vision in my mind, but I can't remember the dude's name. It was called the Merck's Montana Stage Race. I'll leave that as it is. In Missoula, Montana, race weekend for amateurs in the format of a TT crit on Saturday with a road race on Sunday. I don't know about you, Paul, but I was in total oh my God, the past is back. The beauty of a 3-stage 2-day race is back. A team travels, you stay in hotels, you go to dinner.
Shitty hotels, too.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
But that was part of the whole thing. It's like, once I looked at it, it's like, I've been here before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just, God, it was so great to be able to have that kind of an experience again. What were the honest to goodness, uneducated, pre-race thoughts. You guys were just talking about it, and I think there was a little bit of big dick energy here in the room where everybody was thinking, I am going to crush.
We're going to teach them boys something.
In the back of my head, the whole time, I'm thinking to myself, Montana is full of a lot of really fit people, you guys. It is like Boulder, but spread out.
I was thinking not that.
Had
I was
no
thinking,
idea.
yeah, I was thinking that there was just like
It's like Boulder, but spread out. That is the most accurate thing I've
It
ever
is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
like saying like walking in with big dick energy. I mean, I fully planned in like walking in and like I'm like, well, I'm getting podium if I don't, win this thing. Like slapping my arm on the bar, and then when I get there, I realize that it's more of just like a little pinky on the bar. It's like comparing to all of these other guys that are there that are these guys are class talent, right?
Well, I think, to me, it's just the format, the way. That's
cool.
a misleading. I would have never thought. I knew they have talent. And even the local guys impressed me a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's.
Yeah.
I expected that. I did not expect.
For
For the ABC
fucking
race.
Sam Boardman of Legion of Los Angeles to show up to our goddamn road race.
I have never heard Jackson swear more in one sentence in my entire life.
Like, that was the stupidest thing. I went over and Sam goes, look who's racing. And I went, well, the day's over.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. I
Again,
wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
For
just in case everyone missed, repeat who was
Sam
in that event.
Boardman, who is Legion of Los Angeles, one of the top lead out men.
Guys, huh?
Yeah.
Just he was at the crit. He watched our crit, and then he ended up kitting up for the road race.
Yeah.
You can
Which
do
is like-
just the road race.
Yeah,
Which
you can do anything.
should have been illegal.
See, this is that whole format.
illegal.
But that's the whole format of that. That's
Yeah.
misleading to me. It was like, this is just like, well, not everybody wants to do a crit, so I understand. So you can do a road race. So I thought it was going to be a little bit more low key, other
Yeah.
than Sam showing up. Not you, Sam. You're not even holding.
You're
You can't
different,
even.
Sam.
You can't even hold his dirty Sam
my
and Jammy.
name after
I
this.
tell
I can no longer
You
be
are-
called Sam.
Yeah.
You are B squad, Sam.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm C squad. Sam.
Ian Williams.
Yeah.
He was there.
Well, there's
Oh.
he's that California team,
Yeah.
20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's the expedition team.
Yeah.
Which I knew of him because of an old teammate that David and I used to race with. And so when I saw him there, I'm like,
Okay, so I'm trying to keep control.
Yeah,
All
of
right,
the
thank you,
situation.
keep this ordered.
So-
I want to finish though with a part of this category. I thought it was cool that it was categored ABC
Yeah, I
because
agree.
I think that there could have been a better description of like, hey, if you are 60, you might be better in the B's.
Yeah.
Because like I felt like it was a really good ass whooping in the A's, and that was fun.
yeah.
Does everybody remember last week on this very podcast when I said the race director said you might have more fun in the B's?
That was foreshadowing.
He was
right
not
there.
busting my balls.
No.
He was telling the God's honest truth.
He was
He
looking
said that
out.
to you?
He was looking out.
He what?
He told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Honest man.
foreshadowing.
I told him, I
just
said,
like,
my
I'm
teammates are
sending
busting
him
my
my
balls
power
and I should be
numbers.
racing the A's. And he said, hey, you can do whatever you want to race. However, may I recommend you might have more fun in the B's? And I took that as an insult. Dude was honest. Dude was straightforward. He was like,
And
you will
spot
get
on.
your ass handed to you. You will not make 30 seconds into any specific stage. You will not even finish the time trial, you poor bastard.
why are you staring at me when you're saying that?
Actually, I was inadvertently pointing at you. Wasn't
Yes,
I?
you were.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But
I don't know.
yeah,
I deserved it. No, that one. You know what it was like for me? I was punished for a crime, thrown into prison, and Shawshanked for 2 days. That's what it felt like.
We all arrived in Montana.
take us back.
and arrived at our hotel. I believe Jackson
I was about to say,
arrived.
can I start this
at
one?
our
Yes,
fine
yes.
establishment.
And I would like Jackson to provide us with a little insight on his. Now, we're not going to name the hotel chain. We're not going to
No.
name the exact
No.
hotel itself. If somebody goes to Missoula, Montana, and stays in this hotel, they go, "Oh, this is the one, wasn't it?" They will know.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife and I, the night before actually the previous week's podcast, looked up reviews of said establishment and found the not best reviews that I've ever seen.
Nah.
And so we showed up thinking, we did live in Portland. it was bad when we lived there. We can handle this. We showed up. We could not handle this.
Did you even look at a room?
Oh, yeah. We went in the room, and then the person who checked us in said, let's make sure that you sign this thing saying you won't smoke in the room, right? And so you think, oh, great.
You guys had to, did everybody
Yeah,
have to sign
yeah.
that? Okay, my wife checked in, so I don't
I
know.
just do what I'm told.
So you think, oh, great. This is a smoke-free place. We walked in. It is probably the most cigarette smoke
Yellow
smoked
stained
room
walls.
yep, that I'd ever smelt in my
My
life.
fingernails turned yellow when I walked in the room.
Well, kind of, because after about 30 minutes, I began to felt as if my throat was really dry. I could, my wife had a really big headache. And so we looked at our bathroom, and our shower was a stone slab that was stained multiple times on the floor. And then we also went around the bed area, and it had the worst color besides red. It was a white colored stain on the two white colored stains on the floor. That was unsettling.
Well, yeah, white's done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I would have walked out of that room.
Don't give me the eyes like you don't know
No,
what a white
I'm
stain
not.
is.
But I'm like, how big were the white stains?
Large.
Oh, okay.
Repeat offender.
Unless an elephant lived there.
Probably bleach.
So what we ended up doing was we were like, okay, we might go somewhere else, and we did, and we found a lovely alternate, which was really good for
Smart
sleep, especially because I was like, okay, I got a race. I really actually want to like sleep well. So, and I sound snooty, and everybody can tell me you're snooty, but you know what?
Nope, I agree with you.
No, that's a bad room. Our room wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Dingus over here booked it through Expedia, whatever. You
Yeah.
can't get a refund. You can't cancel.
You couldn't have gotten a refund.
I don't
no matter
think
what.
they were not really cool on cancellations anyway.
No.
The
Yeah.
hotel
The
itself
hotel,
wasn't.
no.
Yeah, there's we got you. You're staying.
But what I found funny about our hotel was that all of us stayed there, and then we accidentally roped another member of the ODZ team into staying at our.
That poor son of a bitch.
And he had the murder scene on his carpet.
Yes, he did. I was wondering if he had your room.
Yeah, and well, he could have, but either way, it was like, we just led the sheep to water, and there were crocodiles in the water. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I talked to Weasel, and he goes, I just took my phone and showed his wife, like, this is where I'm staying. And she's like, oh, my God.
Like peeling wallpaper from the corner
I
of the
had
ceiling.
5 areas in my room where the wallpaper had something happen, and they just cut out a square and hot glued it.
so bad.
Yeah,
trim.
Like a fist or something,
The
I don't
trim
know.
on ours, they had like stapled up trim, and they still had the barcode from buying it on there all the way around.
Quick, throw that up. We got some people coming in.
That's
But
pretty much.
they had a pancake conveyor belt. in there.
That's all that mattered.
Do you remember what we talked about on the dinner night? What if you just click like
he doesn't remember
3
shit on the dinner night except how many beers he's had.
See, I was thinking it'd be really funny with the whole conveyor belt thing to just like click it up to like 300 and just like walk
Walk
out.
away.
Which
See 'em
sounds
roll.
so like awful, like
Well,
so mean, but
But then you'd walk into the room and it'd be, come with me, and you'll be in a world of pancakes for everybody.
Sounds great.
Michelle, I should we throw my wife under the
Yes.
bus on this one?
Now, I will take partial blame also because I didn't balk at it, because I too remember the same franchise.
There's a
And it was
chain.
a different,
Yeah.
and when I went through Missoula, I was trying to find that building. Is like, it was on the other end of Broadway.
it's where we were.
Where he
It's,
stayed.
it's like about an 8-story building.
Yeah, it's where Jackson
Oh.
stayed. A different chain, Holiday Inn, bought it and made it Holiday
Yeah.
Inn
Now,
Express.
how many stories was it?
This was a 3-story,
Oh.
2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe this is like 3 or 4. I can't
Oh,
remember.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
been 30-some years, but
Yeah.
and I shared a story about the last time I stayed there with a friend of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it was quite memorable.
the one and only Randy.
Yeah.
We, my wife remembers the actual name. We stayed there 4 years ago. Not at that hotel. We stayed at the same company as that hotel. Let's just say White Tiger. Okay. So we stayed.
What a stretch.
That's a stretch.
We stayed at the White Tiger in this city, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. We were there for a wedding kind of thing. White Tiger's bumping in my head.
The last time I stayed at a White Tiger
Yeah.
was in college with like 8 other college students going to a bike race, and I vomited and shit all over the bathroom that night because I got such bad food poisoning.
Oh my gosh.
What?
And then I slept on that nasty carpet you're talking about.
Oh.
I still remember being so distressed and just reaching my arm out and just holding the wheel of my bike, thinking, it'll be okay in the morning when I get to race my bike.
It'll all be worth it.
So, White Tiger's on par.
I just
Well,
got a
what
text.
I remember.
I just got a text in all caps from my wife that I was previously talking about. She goes, "White Tiger" in all caps.
Nobody will ever guess what we're talking about.
You'll never know.
Well, we're good.
So I had an experience with a White Tiger last year doing the TT. And it was in Wenatchee. They have a White Tiger there.
Do they?
And I have a friend that lives there, but he doesn't have place. He was going to have me stay there.
Yeah.
But he says, we really don't have a spare room. I wasn't going to impose myself. And he goes, here's a list of hotels. And I just Googled hotels in there.
Yeah.
Hey, White Tiger
They're nice.
is the cheapest.
Oh.
This was
It's never
just a step up from what
Where we
we
stayed in?
experienced. Yeah.
I really,
Less
really,
torn
really...
wallpaper and stains. But the toilet was probably 2 inches off the ground. When I sat down, I'm looking between my
Your
kneecaps.
knees.
It's like, what is this, from the 1940s? They still have the same toilets?
But there are several things that made me reflect. Number one, my wife and my room was really not bad. It wasn't
It
bad
was
at all.
not. It was
Jackson,
way, way
Jackson
better.
and his wife came in and went, we would have stayed here. The bed was clean,
Yep, mine was.
and everything else was fine. You just, wear your flip-flops in the shower.
And
There's a
everywhere else.
routine to do.
And there was a pool,
standard.
and there was a pool that had the old man lift chair in it, and I really wanted somebody to lower me in the pool.
I would have done it. You
I
should
thought it would have
had
been
me.
hilarious. I thought it would have been a funny video section
Yeah.
just going, hey.
That crick killed me.
Oh, it's refreshing. It's just like that. I thought it would have been fun. And the pool reminded me of the scene from National Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase. This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, where he jumped in naked with, you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I
Chrissy
do.
Brinkley.
God damn, with Christy Brinkley, yeah. So my wife screwed up. She got the wrong building, and she booked, and she just said, this is where we're staying. And then you guys all jumped in. So we should blame it on her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, bus, throw. My next was the breakdown of the categories. You guys all made fun of me. I do believe I don't deserve any ridicule anymore.
No,
I'm off the
absolutely
hook
not.
there.
You nailed it.
In fact, yeah.
The stage 1 time trial was 7 miles. Reflections and surprises. Sam was hoping for a win here.
I was hoping for a top 3, I would guess.
Sam, how far out of the win were you?
2 minutes.
2 minutes on
It's 7
how many
miles.
miles? again?
7.1.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be surprised you could lose that much time, and
Yeah.
when you're
7.1.
still averaging, what did I average, 26 or 27?
Yeah.
Like I still
That's
went.
hauling ass.
I was still hauling ass.
Yeah.
And there is a slight hill in that.
Well, I got a problem with their descriptions of hills. I'll get to that
Yeah.
on the road race.
So yeah, didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a win for me because I was only trying to be close to Sam because he had his full TT set up. And I was a minute. I was only a minute off of him, so I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." That's I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I had no intentions of I honestly thought about just showing up and not really doing anything.
Do you hear how loud you are in your headphones right now?
Yeah.
Do that every time.
Okay.
Okay.
Jackson went full Mercs.
Yeah.
I did.
He was the traditionalist with the jersey.
So we're
David.
so was
Oh,
David.
you did too.
I didn't have
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, I said road bike. Didn't you
Yeah,
just have your
just
road
have
bike?
a road bike.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just went full arrow.
Yeah, he's the only one
I
that
went
had
on full
stuff.
nerd.
I went bars.
Yeah.
I had clip-ons.
Yeah. I knew I wouldn't do well, and that stacked up.
And that stacked up. That held true.
I was 4 minutes down.
Did anybody hold back?
I
No.
did a little bit. I think I was pushing maybe 75, 80%. I was not, because I was going to save it for the crit so I can help these guys out.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we get to the crit.
Preview coming attractions.
Yeah.
Paul should have brought his TT bike. He could have
Yeah.
done something.
Yeah.
Jackson, I remember talking to you after the race. You were like, "Yeah, I was gonna take it easy, but I did go pretty hard."
Well, I mean, I went to a point where I was like, I knew I couldn't give it anything else. I know that I'm a short, spiky type of rider,
Yeah.
and so I knew that anything of like some sort of duration would probably not suit me. So I wasn't really that surprised, but I went all I could, and I almost caught my minute man. So
Nice.
Which was me.
Was it?
Yeah.
yeah,
I did not.
Which what 40? You were it was about 20 seconds difference, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
So we made
It's
40
a
seconds.
very polite way to say you almost kicked Ball's ass.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I did look at him, but I didn't say it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we were both. I felt. I mean, I was
You're
flat out.
gentlemen.
I was
Yeah.
flat
If
out.
he would
as
have passed me, was it? I passed your ass, pruny ass.
But as we know, I was flat out, and you were 70%. So
Yeah.
I'm probably 75, 80, to be
Okay.
honest. Yeah.
So, quick question. Talk to me about the justification for owning a time trial bike. How many
Anybody
time
else
trials
wanna
have
go?
you done this year, Sam?
One.
How many time trials have you done in the past 5 years, Sam?
Well, on that bike,
Yeah.
one.
Was that
Paul,
last weekend?
how
That
many
was
time
last
trials have you
weekend.
done in the past 5 years on your time trial?
COVID.
I've had it, actually, to be honest with you, I've had it for 9 years, and I probably have done 3.
You have a time trial bike? Where
It's in-
was it?
It's in here.
It's
I'm
hanging
not
in
gonna.
the studio.
I was saving it for. I wasn't gonna go hard
For
in
a
the
special
TT.
occasion.
No, is it TT?
the China! Don't eat off the China! It's Grandma's pattern.
I stand by having that thing. I love that
Yours
bike,
is a
and I
unique, yeah.
think that like it was very cool that it was allowed and not allowed. Because without giving away the weekend, look at how our overall turned out. We can get to that later.
Yeah, for
The
me.
time trial bikes didn't have dick to do with that, though.
Well,
But that's what
the
I'm
guys who won would have won either way.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like cool that we could go out and race them. Right, like those guys could have showed up on road bikes and it wouldn't have mattered. They would have smoked all of us.
Yeah.
Like you could,
And they
put
would have
him
been
on
30 seconds slower.
Yeah, you could have put him on a fat
TT
tire
time.
bike.
I've
and
been
he
on
would've-
Radio Flyer tricycles.
Yeah.
and he would have beat me
Seriously.
by a minute. Like so it doesn't really. I don't believe that it changes that much.
Yeah.
So I think it's super cool that we had a time trial with TT bikes allowed.
Well, the reason I planned on taking it because I thought maybe I might be able to squeeze in the state championship, and that's pretty
Yeah.
close to the same distance as 25 kilometers this year for district, I should say, district championships. But I thought, no, if I get on that, I'm going to go too hard. Then there's a 1 hour crit coming, and then
Then you would be in trouble.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to help these guys like I thought I was going to help them, which wasn't even close.
So, Paul, you mentioned Criterium. Basically, let's be honest, the business park type of a crit.
Yep.
It was a great course, though.
Very nicely staged at the Big Sky
Sky
Brewing Company. Delicious beer, by the way.
Also for a business park.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, better than just your typical business park.
Unendorsed.
Bravo.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
It's a great beer brewery, and they have a concert venue right behind their place,
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool. Yeah, with a little finish climb, little burst of a
bump.
hill,
Bump,
little bump.
little-
Yeah, to kind of take you in that last.
Pimple.
How from the last corner to the finish? How many meters would you say?
Oh, I don't know meters.
Would you give it
I would
200
say-
meters?
Yeah, it's probably close to 200.
Probably close. I will start with my race.
That's the highlight.
And then we can move
will
on to the
say-
road race.
Yeah.
in the B's, it was pretty negative at times. There were especially moments when I actually heard people 20 minutes into the crit behind me talking and laughing, and I'm just going, "The fuck? Why are you guys talking? We should be racing our bikes. What the actual fuck?" So that bothered me a little bit, and we weren't going fast enough, especially that home stretch. We got that back stretch. We had a big headwind on that one, but it did get a little more aggressive as things progressed, and I'm going to get this over with. I got a podium, which is the first I've had in a long ass time. No! I still race B's. So no.
The better
That was a
category.
better. That's
Yeah,
That
should
was
have
a good
raced
choice.
these.
The category we all should have been in.
I was the third place normal dude. Yeah.
Sure.
The APAC. I usually write a bunch of questions for the criterium, but in this case, I am simply going to fold my piece of paper, throw it aside,
And look at
and
Paul.
let you guys go with
why
what
don't
the
you be short
APAC
and sweet?
criterium
Paul
was.
has the best description of how
Yeah.
this went.
So we line up, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, okay, there's some serious horsepower here. And the guy in the leader's jersey was in front of Jackson and I. Sam was off chatting with his wife way back in the corner.
You guys were so fucking late to the line.
And I'm like, all of a sudden
made
things
it.
started clicking like, okay, this is serious.
Yeah.
And Jackson and I are not going in that first corner slightly over 90%. It kind of kicks out. And then there's drainage runoffs, concrete. It wasn't too bad. If you hit a line, it's fine. But if you didn't, you would catch air.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, Jackson and I are, I don't know what David was doing.
He was
back
planning
there.
his one-man drinking contest.
He was
for later
giggling
on
and
in the
talking
night.
in the back. And then Sam, I hear Pat going, Sam! I was screaming.
I was
Yeah.
screaming.
Finally,
your
Sam
name.
rolls up, and then the
I didn't hear
head
that.
of the
I was screaming your name
Yeah.
at the start line.
Oh, that's
and
hilarious.
the embarrassment part was the promoter says, "Hey, Spokane, you guys ready yet?" And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm thinking,
It was,
I got
it was 3:59.
I'm
We had
thinking-
plenty of time.
this is a bad situation. We're not Jackson and I, who are actually in the road we should be, are in too far on the inside.
yeah.
And then it goes off, and I'm thinking, oh, it's not too bad. And all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. And I thought, we are screwed. Right then, I knew we were screwed.
Yellow. There were alarms starting to ring
Oh,
in the distance
it was
for
bad
him at this point.
And so then on the second lap, that's when I tapped you on the back. I'm like, we got to get up because gaps
Yeah.
were happening within one lap.
was insane.
It was jumping, and it wasn't so much. There was bad cornering. If you were in the back, you got stuck behind people, and you had to bridge. 3 times I had to bridge within like the first 4 laps on every corner. It seemed like I had 2 times people
four-turn crit, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
4-turn, just a great
and with a
classic
slight little
4-turn
climb.
crit. Yep.
And then, by the 5th lap is when all of a sudden I just blew because it was just like, I got to get around this guy. He takes a bad line. I have to brake and accelerate past him, bridge up, and then it comes to the next corner. A guy almost overlaps my wheel. I'm not saying I would have lasted that crit, but I was done. I was done. By the time that 5th lap came and we're going up that hill, I just blew a gasket because a guy tried to overlap my wheel. You saw that one.
Yeah.
And I had to hit the brakes in the middle of the hill, and then it's like, see everybody. So from that point on,
lap in a
5th lap
1
and
hour
a 1 hour
crit.
crit.
Yeah.
This race was over in 1.5 laps.
Yeah, it was.
2.
No, it was over in 1.5.
1.5 for you, but I was up at the front, so we were half a lap ahead of you.
So you had
no.
you had
yeah,
2 laps.
you were so far in the back. We were not almost even registered in the same race.
See,
We
this
were
is
so
this is
far back there.
This is where
Yeah.
I am still like dumbfounded because I didn't even know that like I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit back. These guys are gonna whip it out, and everybody's gonna whip out their dicks for a little bit, and then like they're gonna chill out. I'm gonna like come up
Oh,
to the
no, I
front
knew that
after
wasn't
like
gonna
10
happen.
minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
There-
no.
2 laps and a gap opened, and I still am not sure how such a large gap opened in 2 laps on
it
with all of these.
exploded.
It's like unreal. And by the time I get up there, I put in one good effort of chasing, and they are getting further away. I'm like, no, there's nobody, and nobody wants to chase
No one
because
could.
everybody's represented up there, and race is over. 2
It
laps.
is.
I've never been in a crit that was over that quickly.
I became like every goal was don't get lapped. So I told these 2 brothers Grimm. I was
get
like
lapped.
a hoot owl. My head was on a pivot. I was looking back. Okay. Then the next group, I got to stay. Then the next, pretty soon it's like, don't get lapped 2 times. Oh, 2 times. I got lapped 2 times.
only 20
Then all of a sudden
minutes.
it's like,
Not a third.
holy shit. And I even said, you were
You
on
looked
that
at me and
turn
said,
1.
am I going to get pulled?
Yeah, I asked, are they pulling lap riders? Because I didn't want to get pulled because this is part of my training for Masters that I was going to. I freaking soloed for an hour, basically.
Nice.
With my head on a pivot. I could just watch group by group. But the funny thing is, I lapped 2 people 2 times. One guy 2 times, one guy once.
Nice.
Solo. Now
Yeah.
now your time was averaging around 2 minutes a lap, right? I was doing 2:30. So 30-second lap for an hour.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long before those groups give if I'm
back
gonna
around.
Yeah.
Jackson, you battled some demons.
Well, I was there and I was expecting, it's a crit, it's short, it's punchy, is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And so
Sprint finish.
yeah, exactly. And so I stuck in for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
I would say
You
half.
were.
I would say half the race I was in there, and
Or
then
at least. Yeah.
and then just stupid ass mistakes started happening from other people. And I know that sounds like I'm blaming everybody else, but like just gaps and people hitting traffic cones and little things. And it's like, sure, I can classify myself as like a sprinter, but you only have so many sprints to
Matches.
close gaps.
Yeah.
And then when corners are being taken poorly, or when people are going up the climb and they're leaving I would say 50-yard gaps, it's like there's nothing a human can possibly do to consistently have to like sprint the whole race. And then after I got dropped, I was like, this is stupid.
So to summarize the crit, massive ass handing.
Yes, but I would also like to say that I was the only one that knew. And
Oh my God! When did you, by the way, become such an absolute? I mean, I talk about the inner asshole. I talk about the inner asshole a lot of times, but there were like I think we were 4 laps in, and you were yelling at your wife to tell everybody.
No,
to move
you.
up. Oh,
I
were
was
you?
stared you right in the eyes.
I thought you were looking at your wife.
And
all
I
know
was
is like,
I literally stare you in the eyes because I am like up there. I have marked the first move. I had to bridge
so
a gap to get up. I was so pissed. I had to bridge. We're going 30 miles an hour. I bridged at 35 to get up there. I am on rails going around these corners, get to these guys. We all kind of look around at each other, rotate to there just a couple times. Then the other guys came up. We start that second lap. And then we're coming around, and I'm like, I can't follow a third move here.
Yeah.
And so then I get dropped back to the main peloton when that leader and a few of the other fast guys go. And I am like sitting up there like, I can't close that gap alone. Where is my team? And I look back and like through
David's in the back going, race isn't going to start
it's
for a
all
while,
over.
right?
I'm
I
like
was chilling.
I was the only one that knew that like a pro 1-2 crit starts on the gun and goes for 15 minutes.
No, I knew it.
is
I
all
had
out.
no fuel.
I was in
There's
the
no
top 10,
way.
I'd say a good 50% of the time.
Yeah. So don't,
Yeah.
Okay,
You
even
just
if it goes
became-
for 15, that was literally 4 minutes, and it was over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That
because
was the
you
quickest-
were
The selection was made.
Yeah, immediately. Anyways,
It was fun. It was fun.
It was.
I'm gonna
It
wrap
was-
it up.
I think
It
that's
was
so
a
fun.
blast.
I think that's a funny way to describe it.
Yeah.
I think that's
No,
really fun.
I love that.
Fun?
It was
That's
fun.
a fun
I
way
got
to
my teeth
describe it.
locked in, and I
Yeah.
love that. Also, I love that we all experienced that level of a crit because that was a proper Pro 1 crit.
And I wish I wasn't 60, and I wish I was 27, and I had a lot more training because that was that was what I thrived for.
The-
But I should have been a B, and I don't think I could have won the Bs on
You
that
could've
day. I was done.
You could have won the bees.
Yeah.
Paul, you could have
don't know.
done really well in the
I don't
bees. But I do have to say that there was a point where the announcer, who was also the race director and the main official, and I was trying to figure out how he was juggling all these balls at one time. He was commenting on people coming through, and he said, "And here's another one of our Spokane riders," and it was you, Paul, coming through. And I was like, I wanted to run over and just say to him, "Hey, by the way, he's 60."
You
And the
probably
guy would
knew
look
that
at me
because
and
my
go-
skin was flapping in the wind.
He would have just what? He's what? 60? Yeah. So I was because the age
Was
difference
young
was
20s
gigantic.
was the majority.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was old in that group
Yeah.
at 32.
I didn't belong there. I really didn't belong there.
But to make us feel
You
better,
did it.
Didn't.
to make us feel better, we all have happy, loving relationships, and who knows what they have.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
guys are
There
all
you go.
sleeping alone.
Yeah.
Not saying they're all a bunch of assholes who don't love their partner. For God's sake, with our luck, they're probably all in very happy.
One of them
making,
was dating one of the A women who was in my field, and she's a stud, and she was super nice.
Three of them
too.
told
So
me
it's-
about
it's
it.
In the
perfect.
bees,
Yeah.
she was amazing.
She was an A category
Right,
woman, but they
racing
raced
in your,
with
yes.
us. Yeah,
And she,
They-
I think she got like second, third in the bees.
Yeah, they
with,
threw
with
down-
the men.
Yeah, they threw down a couple attacks a couple times
Yeah.
during the crit, and I
She's
was like,
serious.
"Oh my god! Wow!" it was impressive. They were
So the road race.
Yeah. So so day one recapped. To finish off day one recap was with David telling me, "Hey fucker," and we went back to sleep in the murder hotel.
-1.
White line.
-1. The road race after a breakfast buffet from the hotel that had me questioning potentially going vegan.
You ate any of that there?
I ate those little pre-made.
Stick to the pancake.
No,
conveyor
let me
belt.
finish. Pre-made little omelets. They're
with
like folded in
American
half with
cheese
American
in the
cheese in the
middle.
middle. I ate one of those, and I ate a hockey puck hash brown. And I didn't eat any meat. I do have some sort of standards. And I ate a bagel that genuinely I was convinced was baked in 1992.
Makes sense.
But by the way, if you nuke them for about 15-20 seconds, they become soft again. So I was.
But you got to eat them fast because they'll
You gotta
harden
eat 'em,
back
yeah,
up.
exactly. You gotta
It's
go.
like a
You gotta
time-
move. You
it's
gotta
like a
move.
time machine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a time machine. Perception going in for the road race. Now the course they described, and this is my biggest bone to pick here, was that they told us it's an out and back 47 miles, 47, 48
plus
miles. Which short course, but they said it's a 5-mile climb, right?
I know where you're going with this, and I
5
think I
mile
know
climb.
why you're wrong.
Well, I'm not wrong because in my mind I'm right, and it's my podcast. So shut the fuck up.
Calm, Sam.
We got to the base of the quote unquote climb, and first of all, there were rollers like crazy, and I hear the A group rollers were an absolute nightmare. We'll get to that. But the main climb, when we got to, I was going, this is not the climb yet. They say it's the climb, but this is not the climb yet. And then we got to the actual climb per se, and I went into pace yourself mode. I was like, Pat, this is a 5-mile climb. You're going to be able to accelerate towards the tail end of the climb. Take the first half easy. Just keep it in pace. Keep it in. But wait, why is everybody coming back the other way already? At max, this was a 2-mile climb.
Okay, this is why you're wrong. You think that the climb started when it pitched up, right? Like when it got steep.
That's a climb. That's the
no,
definition
no,
of a climb.
No.
It started when you turned into the park.
And if you were in the A group, you would have known because that was a climb.
Yeah, you would have felt it.
It was unreal. When we turned left, we were climbing. I mean, you're going so hard up that base that it is like.
I'm not wrong.
Okay.
I was solo, and well, I wasn't. I had a compadre. His name was Luca. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
talk to the guy.
Did he live on the second floor?
Yeah, Luca.
My name is Luca. That's an only reference
Yeah.
that you and I and the old people listening to this podcast will get.
And he's from Missoula, and I was using him for reference. And I said, once we turned, it started kicking up. We picked up an ODZ rider who was staying at our hotel that was convinced that's the place to stay,
yeah. Sucker.
nicknamed Weasel,
Yeah.
who made a wrong turn.
Oh,
and
no.
Luca and I went past, and I could hear him, Paul! Paul! And I gotta wait for this guy. So he helped with the rotation.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he missed a turn off.
But you
we
said
set
I
up a
gotta
little
wait?
bit. I thought, I just
He's
said,
a
hey,
nice guy.
three
He's a
people.
nice guy.
3 people. I'm not gonna. He's from Spokane. I know the guy. I'm not gonna sit there and go, flip him off, and accelerate.
Well,
No, but so anyway, I said to Luca, I said, just wait. And to me, it's like we have 3 guys. We could kind of work together, and I can have a little longer break. Is what I'm thinking, right? I'm just being selfish.
yeah.
So then, as soon as we do that, you turn into the park. This is how I know the hill climb starts. Weasel says, "See you guys." And I'm like, "Nope, I don't know." And I kept going to Luca, and I said, "So how far is this?" I don't know. It's long. This is not the information that I wanted. I wanted some more so I can figure out tempo. There's a steep section. How long is that? It's not too bad. Luca, you're not helping me out here. So I thought, okay, you just set a tempo and just keep your heart rate and effort and all that to the top. And I was actually surprised how short the steep part was. I was expecting
Very short.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking,
As
well,
I said,
damn.
it's like taking Valley Chapel, our climb Valley Chapel, but saying the climb starts a mile before the actual climb starts. Mm-hmm. You were, it's a slight upgrade. This is a climb. Dude, no, seriously, we're climbing right now. It's like, shut the.
I'm
This
gonna
isn't
take
the
you on
climb!
like the base of Mount Spokane, and I'm
No,
going
Mount
to.
Spokane is a mountain.
Yeah, the base of it though is the same grade.
That's
that,
exactly right. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a climb, right?
Whatever.
And the worst part is if you're in that category,
I wasn't in that category.
No, but if you
That's
were
the
like
thing.
these guys and didn't get dropped on the roller, the last roller,
Yeah.
because it slammed every time. I'm like, here we go again. There's another hill, and that's where I blew. But I was going to blow it any time anyway, so no big deal. But once you hit that, you guys are probably doing 20 plus easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, yeah.
23,
we were
24 miles an
hauling
hour.
up that base.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
We're
We
dumb.
should all quit
We're
bikes.
stupid.
Jackson,
Sell our bikes.
how'd your road race go?
So let's really round this whole thing together. Let's have a good storytelling moment.
Everyone has a story about the road race besides Jackson.
So there's a reason why I'm so quiet right now.
Yeah, you have
So-
been. Yeah.
If I'm being really realistic with myself, this was probably one of my worst weekends in sport that I've ever had in my entire life.
No.
I had a lovely,
Only uphill from here.
Well, seriously, I know. I had a lovely time with like everybody hanging out and everything. That was a whole lot of fun.
Do you know you've said lovely like 9 times?
It's because it was. But
Lovely night.
yeah, and so the
great
time
adjective.
trial, the time trial, I didn't have expectations.
Okay.
The crit, I had some.
Yeah.
And I got dropped relatively halfway through. And then the road race, I warmed up and I was like, oh, like hearing more and more about the course, I was like, sweet. Like this, like it's punchy rollers. It's not that steep. I can probably stay with. I would imagine I would have stayed with David.
Mm-hmm.
I flatted within the first. What'd you say, David?
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
1.3.
Yeah.
1.3.
1.3 miles. I made it into this road race.
That was a nasty pothole you hit.
Yep.
You
And
hear the rim,
Potholes.
but the rim didn't break.
The rim did not break.
But it sounded like it.
It sure as hell did. Oh my God, this was loud. But we were rolling through, and the pack just kept going, and the guy in front of me didn't point it out, and he just last minute swerved around it, and I was like, oh, I'm fine. There's no hissing noise yet. And then I stand up and I hear and everybody went around me.
God.
But the best part of it all was the mechanic came up and he said, here, I'll change your tube for you to get you back. And I come back and I'm great and everything. And then I come up to you, Dad, and I'm like, how'd it go? And he goes, hey, you got a tube for me? And I went, what? He says, you got a tube for me. And I went, what? And he's like, oh, here, you should replace my tube where I can take it out of your bike. And so I turned around and I walked over and I reluctantly gave him that. And then I came back to you, Dad, and I went, you're a mechanic. You don't have another fucking tube in your car.
Yeah.
I know I'm being a little bit annoying about
Or
it, but it's
tip
just
him,
like,
tip him $5 or something like that. So thanks for the
But, like-
tube, man. Yeah.
it's $12.
Yeah.
You know, I know that I'm being a dick about it, but it's like, it's a tube, dude. Come on. Don't get on my ass about a tube.
So in that situation, I'm next to him. It goes, my first thing is, well, I need to give him a wheel. No, I can't give him a wheel because he's got a disc
Yeah.
brake.
I was
Secondly,
going to pull over and give him
actually,
something.
he could ride my bike. Our seat height are not too far apart. He'd be a little uncomfortable, but I can't give my bike away, right? Because we have little tags that
Oh,
have the
shit, our numbers,
data. I'm
yeah.
like, this is just completely different. Of when you ride in service of
for
somebody.
people who don't know, we weren't wearing numbers. We
Yeah.
were actually had timing chips on our seat posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way to go.
And so I think so too.
Unless
Except for
you're-
these situations. In the
It
old
should
days,
be on the head tube though, because then you can actually hit a finish line. measurement
yeah.
Of a head tube. But anyway,
but in the old days, that would have been my role.
Yeah.
Is like I'd give him a wheel, and this is the problem we have with today's with all the different
there
12-speed
we go.
disc brakes. With the tires. Mine wouldn't be. It would be small enough if you had rim brakes and stuff like that. But and I can't even give him my bike.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would have taken it or not, or whether you were in the mind just said fuck it. But
Right, it went down, and I was like, how much like it? I Well, I immediately went. I immediately went into problem listing mode. I hit my head super hard at 30 miles an hour this year. Broke my bike for 2 months. And so training, I didn't train for 2 months. And then I was super excited for this. It was my second chance. Yeah. And then it just flat tire was the way to end it. Just disappointing.
Your reaction on your face was like a flat tire. You went, oh no, I'm done.
Yeah, I was like,
Like you did.
I ended that road race and I was like, I'm so happy that I don't have to race for another year. I am so over this shit. And the thing, and this extremely nice, this extremely nice person came up to me. She goes,
Oh God, I love
she goes, "Why'd you come back so early?" And I'm thinking, like, I want to fucking rip your head off. But she was being nice, and as many people know, I'm very calm, and I'm always try to be kind to everybody.
You're very polite.
And
you're
she goes,
very polite.
yes. And
I
she
don't
goes,
know who you got it from, but you're very polite.
right. And so she goes,
Michelle.
oh, and I went, oh,
she's horrible.
I flatted early, so I had to come back. And she goes, oh, are you gonna fix it and go out and ride? And I was like, no. And she's like, oh, are you okay? And I went,
No.
I'm really sorry about this, but I'm really sad right now, and I don't really want to talk to anybody.
Doesn't that sound adorable? I'm really sad, and I don't want to talk anymore.
And so she walked away, and I was like, in the car,
She walked away, went up to her husband, Ken, and went,
That guy is so rude to me.
yeah.
You wouldn't believe what he just said to me. Let's
Right.
go back to our $800,000 compound on the river.
Right.
I don't
That's
think
exactly
that's
what
how
happened.
that went. I think it was
he's
more-
like, nah, I got to get the Mercedes tires changed first. Sorry, that's Montana now. That is what Montana has become. And they're all fast assholes.
yeah.
But anyways, that's how it went for me.
They're not assholes. They're actually very
really
nice
nice people.
Everybody was
Once
great.
they kick your teeth in, they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, good race, bud."
Yeah.
It's like, I hate you.
Did I mention that the race cost $40?
Yeah.
So cheap.
Killer.
What was missing that could have cost more, in your opinions?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, maybe that is why we didn't get a start list to look at. They couldn't
Oh,
afford
that was
that
the
part
expense.
of the
Yeah.
yeah.
Seriously, I mean, preems. There were
Were there
prizes.
preems?
There
I
were
didn't
medals. There were preems. I got handed a preem because for some reason they thought Jackson was in the B's.
They
because
really thought.
at about 3 times in the results they're like, younger Bulger won this preem, and I'm like, I was the only Bulger in the race, and I didn't win any preems, and so they handed me a bottle of champagne, which I gave to your wife.
Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there were any preems. I think I was too far back.
Well, I have to say, the league group, I won their preem.
You did.
I crossed the line before they did.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Nice.
Yes.
But they were on 3 laps, passing me at 3 laps to go. So they rang the bell. That's when.
Who's going back next year?
I
Me.
am.
I'll go back.
And I'm going to
Yeah.
beat them all.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If it works schedule wise, I'd love to go back. I would encourage anybody that wants a good race. I thought it was well put on. I like
Very
the
well.
style.
Yep.
I'm racing bees, by the way.
we will have so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, and I
I'm
would
racing
like
B's
that.
again. Like you guys aren't talking me into B's anymore, into A's anymore.
That's fair.
Although
I think
the
that,
Twilight Series, I will race A's.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think
local
that structure though of an A, B, C, it does limit, right? Because you don't have like a Masters this and a Masters that,
Yeah.
and you know whatever. So it's like I think it's cool. Yeah, you have to be a little more specific, and maybe you're not going to be the top person, but I think that could heal road biking in the like road bike racing. It's cheaper and you know it's easier to put on.
It
right?
can if you're patient. I will admit that my category had some people who were very inexperienced. Very inexperienced.
You know how to fix that. You
What, drop
attack.
them.
Yeah. Well, dude, the first person up the climb in my group was the category C men's leader, a junior, a kid. He just
him.
launched.
Yeah. Should have gone with him.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then I decided to pace myself because it was a 5-mile climb. But I will say that, you know, like, for example, there was one moment in my race where a guy was blatantly crossing the center line and passing people, and I went, hey, you can't do that. And a woman looked at me and said, it's his first race. He doesn't know. And I'm going, he's gonna die. If he doesn't know, go up and talk to him then.
Well, apparently he wasn't listening to the official because that was one of the statements.
official
That was
it
like
was
one of the
strongly
most
enforced.
strict
Yeah.
things, yeah.
But
That's not an
they're just
excuse.
like, he's a gravel racer. He doesn't know. I'm like going, dude, then somebody's got to tell him, because there were several people doing that. And I'm going, there are cars coming, and you're going to die.
And cars coming from behind too.
Yeah.
Like, we got passed by a few cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fast to me because I was going so
You're
slow.
going slower. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Kudos to the team. I'm assuming it's MTCX,
Yep.
the team that put it on. I did want to mention them, and I think it was a great event, and it was a lot of fun. We got some time for a couple more of our segments before the show ends. I do want to ask Jackson about a Cycle Systems update brought to us by our friends at Cycle Systems Online, who are doing some absolutely awesome stuff. And Jackson, do you got anything that's going on with them?
It's just kind of you still plugging along, seeing how things go. I think one thing that I will highlight is the fact that I like that they include what tools you need before every lesson. I mean, most of the times you could get halfway through a lesson and think that all you need is like an Allen key or something like that, and then you realize that, oh no, I need this very specific bottom bracket tool for threaded bottom brackets from 1945. You know what I mean? Like,
Whoa!
But like genuinely anymore, like they help you realize like what tools you need, and I think that's very helpful, especially for somebody who doesn't have a full arsenal or a full wall of tools. It's nice to know what you'll need for each thing.
I have a full wall of tools, but most of them are for
Outdated.
outdated bikes.
But the thing
My
is,
problem. It looks cool though.
if you're working in a local bike shop, so many people have outdated things. So really, it's crazy anymore what you need for a bike shop. You need things from 1945 all the way up to 2028 already. It's crazy.
How about a fit tip with Bike Fit Sam brought to us by our friends at Ambassador Cycling? Get fit to get fit.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna talk about nutrition today.
Oh,
Because like those are all topics that I do cover in Bike Fit, and a guy asked me today during one of the Bike Fits about nutrition and what I would recommend, and they are a sponsor. Scratch. I mean, I've never once heard one person say like, Scratch doesn't work for me, right? There's tons of other nutrition companies out there. I'm not going to bash on any of them or throw any out there, but like works for some people, doesn't work for others. Scratch, I have not heard one bad thing about.
Wow.
And then also Untapped, really bad hamstring cramp for me on the road race because going pretty hard trying to stay with the front group, which I didn't. And
David, you stuck with the front group.
Yeah, David did stick in the front group.
And I had an untapped maple.
And he had an Untapped maple.
And some scratch.
So did I. I had Untapped
Oh,
also.
well,
Yeah.
don't say that. That
doesn't
it takes away from the point.
No, I probably wouldn't have finished without it.
He'd still be on the side of the road in the ditch.
Mama.
He'd
But-
just have to find his teeth for dental work for a body identification.
But like nutrition is like a big part of all that, right? Like because a lot of people come in and they'll have muscle cramps, and you know what? Maybe your bike fit is perfect, but you need to look into other pieces of that. So I just like nutrition is huge. If you have any questions on it, shoot me an email.
There we go. And before we finish, I think we're gonna probably hold off on the Packfiller picks because somebody decided not to send them to me till really freaking late.
Giggity.
But we do have an Ask Dr. David brought to us by our friends at, and I'm announcing this early. I hope I screw up the don't screw up the with the Triestina bicycles. That's right, we're an official dealer, and I can't pronounce the name of the name company.
But my friend was it.
I got it.
You nailed it.
you nailed it.
Sweet. And we are, if you would like to inquire on the BDA line, please let us know. And we're going to start. And we're going to plug that a lot more as the season progresses. But the question dealing with Dr. David tonight is vitamins / supplements necessary, nice to have, or why bother? I would like to start with the panel and ask your personal opinions and experience on the importance of vitamins / supplements. Me, for example, I take a
Cholesterol pill.
well, that's not a vitamin or a supplement, asshole. I do take
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I have a pill dispenser too.
Well, you had a heart condition. Let's not forget that.
I have a
Don't bring that up.
Now I'm filling it with. I have glucosamine and chondroitin because my shoulders are shit, and I'm trying to find a pill to solve problems, which it won't work. And I also take what's the other one? It was for my ears. For my
For your
Are you drinking like
tinnitus?
Removal?
tinnitus. I took another one. I can't remember what the name of it is though. Ginkgo biloba. I take for my tinnitus.
Oh.
I try to see if that'll help my tinnitus.
Didn't help.
And I don't know. Huh?
Right?
What?
Nothing.
Say again? So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably, if anything, it's making a subtle change, if anything, but I don't know the difference. Does anybody else take vitamins or supplements? I do take a daily chewable just because, you know.
Flintstone gummy or Flintstones taste good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the gummies. I love the
Yeah.
gummies, but I bought these from Trader Joe's.
What
and they're
kind of
kinda creamy.
gummies?
They're creamy. No, they're better. Yeah. Jackson, vitamins.
I take a 1 a day men's catered vitamin, and it does. I'm gonna use the word again. It does fuck all in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It helps.
It doesn't do anything.
No, fuck off.
I got sick probably more times this year than I've ever gotten sick in my entire life, and I took it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
So.
stupid kids.
Yeah.
I might just have to call this one Jackson's potty mouth.
Yeah.
It was a rough emotional weekend. So
Yeah.
this is a cathartic experience for me. So I thank you.
We're
all.
here to help.
Jackson's
We're here to help.
cathartic.
I couldn't help you in the crit. At least we can help
Potty
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I needed this.
Sam,
processing his emotions.
are you a vitamin supplement guy?
Yep. B12 and vitamin D are my two big ones. And so, like, for me, B12 being mostly plant-based diet, and vitamin D, not really in the summer because I get enough vitamin D, but in the winter around here we don't. And then beyond that, like, I take a few other ones for, like, ashwagandha. It lowers cortisol levels, supposedly.
Sounds cool.
And then turmeric lowers inflammation, supposedly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just
how
take
you
those
could
because
fix
I
all
always
that?
have.
You know how you could fix all that? Corn dog.
Yeah,
One
right there.
Corn dog.
Interesting.
And the nitrates will preserve you forever.
Yeah, you'll be plastic.
Yeah.
Paul, you a vitamin guy?
I do
Gotta
fairly
do
regularly.
something for bone density at your
No,
age.
I haven't gotten there
Oh my
yet.
god.
My bones are actually very, very strong because I drink a lot of milk, but as you found
Not
out,
at
not
night.
at night.
Not at night.
Not at night.
No.
Just in the morning.
Yeah.
But I do take one, but it's a high in iron. When I was a little kid, and I've never had a check now, but I had anemia quite a bit. For some reason, my body didn't process, but I just do that as a kind of prophylactic type of situation. But I probably piss out my vitamin. If you eat right, in my opinion, if you actually eat right, I don't think you need anything. That's my take. But I don't eat right.
Yeah.
So
And I'm not ready to change that.
no, not at 60. I'm going down, augering in.
Digging in, sticking with it.
Yeah.
David, set us straight.
So there's really not a lot of good reasons to just take a supplement or a vitamin without knowing why you're taking it. Everything they're telling you about what this magical vitamin does probably is over exaggerated. There are reasons to take vitamins and supplements. B12 deficiency is real. Vitamin D deficiency is real. Iron deficiency is real, which is what you're getting at with your anemia. But those should probably be diagnosed before you overdo it, because you can overdo it on vitamin D, and that can actually cause problems in and of itself. You can overdo it. You can't really overdo it on B12, but you can overdo it on iron, and you could feel poorly. There's actually studies that have been done that shown that vitamin E, if you take that, can actually, for some reason or another, increase your mortality. They don't know exactly why. And the thing about GNC and all these places you buy your vitamins is that they are not regulated by the FDA.
Okay.
And most of the time what you're buying is not what is advertised. There are some reputable things. So multivitamins you get from like Costco and those are usually pretty good, and there's no harm there. Those are all water soluble. If you overdo it, you usually pee them out. In the Northwest, vitamin D is great because we don't get enough sunshine, but just the normal amount. You don't need to take 10,000 units a day like some people take. Just the normal 2,000 units a day is fine. But I think Paul kind of hit it on the head. If you eat a diverse diet, if you get enough sunshine, if you don't have any reason with your doctor to take a supplement, it's probably not doing you any good, and there actually is a chance that it could do you harm. So there is evidence out there that some of these vitamins can, when you overdo it, can actually hurt you. So I personally don't take anything. I don't until I find on lab work that I have either a B12 or a vitamin D deficiency or osteoporosis. Sorry, not looking at you.
Not a problem.
In which case you should be taking calcium. I don't take anything. So
Wow.
just try to eat a diverse diet. I eat mostly plant-based, and even with that, I don't think I have any issues with iron and B12.
Corn dog.
Corn dog every once in a while.
Here and there.
So, yeah. That's my take on it. I think if you're not being directed to do it, it's probably unnecessary, and there actually is a chance it could hurt you.
What's the vitamin in the Red Bull that
B.
It's a B.
Yeah.
Bunch
Those
of
are
vitamin
you
B.
pee those out when you overdo it, so they're not really harmless. People think it's linked to like energy, and when it's low, you'll have low energy, but more of it doesn't equal more energy.
Isn't yeast beer yeast have
B12 in it, yeah.
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 That's why I drink Anger from Germany, and you can swirl it in your bottle and you dump in it, and it pulls out in the bottom, and you just get that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
I eat
what
Sam's
Cloudy-
gummy vites, by the way. I do eat his gummy vites because they taste good.
What's your gummy bite?
Gummy vites. He has like gummy vitamins.
Oh yeah, vitamin
yeah.
C and then
I think your B12 ones are they also?
Yeah, it's
I just
something
eat
like
them because they taste good.
Yeah.
Handfuls.
Yeah.
She eats a whole bucket
My
by the
wife,
end of the night.
my wife
Yeah.
eats Tums for the calcium.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that.
yeah. Every once in a while, just a couple Tums. I do it for the GERD.
I eat.
You do-
I eat Tums because my stomach hurts after time trials.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. I used to throw those things back like candy after time trials.
Tastes so good.
Yeah, they are delicious. They're not bad. Yeah, I could go into a whole gummy thing, but yeah. We did have Packfiller packs, but we are clearly out of time. Packfiller packs, Packfiller picks. We usually have Packfiller peeves. Does anybody have a quick one they want to just say, hey assholes, quit doing this?
Racing
Quit.
for like 8th place.
You have a problem with
You're-
racing for 8th place?
Yeah, I was in the chase group in the road race, and everybody's rather than chasing, attacking each other for it was 5th place. But like, why aren't we just working together to try to
Yeah.
catch everybody?
No,
I
that's
get
a
a
good
little
beef.
frustrated. It
especially
wasn't
when there's
everybody.
nobody
actually.
up there that's on like your squad, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you everyone back in the other group needs to get to that front group.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you got 5th,
Yeah.
but you got 5th. You didn't get a podium. I'm not racing for 5th. I'm racing for.
Let's try to catch the
Top
people
one.
in
Yeah,
front of us. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I ran into that at the end of my road race where we had two guys attack at the end of the road race
Yep.
who we had caught and sat on for a while, and there were a couple of us doing the lion's share of the work, and they attacked us right in the last climb. And I remember looking over at another rider and said, well, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
And then I did I will do anything it takes to make sure those guys don't win.
That's a Sam thing.
Yeah, and so I just buried myself, and of course got out sprint right at the line by a person who was following me, but I just was like, "Why are you attacking when we're I
love that.
I'm all for sprinting at the line, but 10 miles out, starting attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. We should still be racing.
Well, I'm all for sprinting at the line if you've been a contributing member to
Sure.
the field, though.
Sure.
Unless there's a first place on the line, if you're like sprinting for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever it is, don't. Unless you've been equally contributing to the efforts.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Am I wrong? Am I being a dick?
I agree, 100%.
I don't know. I'm
Always.
just depressed.
The guy who took our chase group did the least amount of work and then started attacking us and sprinted.
Yeah.
I was like, where were you the whole time? Yeah, why
If you have
weren't
that
you
much
helping?
energy, why are you not trying to track
We might
them
have been
down?
able to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. I believe there's an ethics code, but there's also a learning curve, I think, involved
Yeah.
there, too, where a lot of people just don't know because they're coming off, well, I just
There
race
might be gravel riders.
Yeah, I just come off a gravel experience.
There's no center line in gravel.
Yeah, there's no. That's exactly what I was going to say. So thank you guys. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for an awesome ride weekend, for an experience that was, God, it just had me. My wife looked at me and she said, I had the most fun in the entire summer this weekend. She
Cool.
was, I had so much fun.
It was a
Yeah,
fun
that was
weekend.
blast.
Really?
Yeah.
Marie did? Well.
Well, okay, I just did worse than I hoped, but I had a good
Yeah.
time. you know?
Same.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want it to make it sound like, oh, woe was me, everything sucks, and let's go to hell to this weekend. No, it was fun. It was just a lot of bad things happened during like race situations. is
Welcome to
all.
bike racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'm glad
I
the spousal units had fun because
did.
that's always a worry when you bring them along because
Yeah,
what
they
are you
all
gonna
had a
do?
blast.
Yeah.
Good.
They did a big hike and got incredibly sunburned. So there we go. That, I guess, brings us to the end of this episode. We will not have Paul with us next week. Unless we get him to call
be in
in or
Augusta,
something
Georgia.
like that. Yeah, he'll be in Augusta. Yeah.
I could drop you a line real
Playing
quick.
for the green jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the day I'm heading to Charleston, South Carolina
Ah,
for a day.
I'll take a cell phone call if you're not, or
Okay.
or just a pre-recorded. Hey guys, I'm here. Hey guys, just like you're a
My
YouTube
bike gets
star.
smashed by the airlines.
Oh no! Don't say that. We're all knocking on wood here because that can't happen, dude. Have fun, man. Go fast and
Yep.
yeah. If you don't,
I got a good workout. I got some great training.
Yeah.
It was not fun. Well, it really was fun.
Yeah. If you
But
don't,
I rode solo pretty much the whole weekend.
if you're not top 20,
Look
don't
how
come
positive he is.
back. Yeah. If you're not top 20, don't come back.
Hopefully, I don't have to use that owl
Yeah.
thing
The neck.
in the Masters.
Thanks to everybody for listening. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, and we will catch you guys next week without Paul.